This is Joshy Blocks. This is Sumatra, Fate of Yandi for the PS4. It's my PS4 review of this game, is what I meant to say. This is an adventure game. It's like a point-and-click adventure game, kind of in the style of King's Quest, but it's done in the modern adventure game style, where there's no death in the game, and so you just kind of everything's lined up so that you can just sort of always move forward. Like there's never a point where, as far as I can tell, there's never a point where it's possible to get stuck. Like you can always go back and get the things that you need to get to move forward. So yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, so it's let's have a look at a little bit of it. In the beginning, you go to work. Yeah, you work for this logging company. You're sent to do this dangerous job, and you wind up trapped in the jungle, Sumatra. Would you like a quick? And so it's basically a tale of survival, where your character is wandering through the jungle, and there's a few conversation choices and stuff like that, but other than that, it's like a really simple point-and-click game. There's not that much to do, and you click on things, you can look at them or interact with them, and it's mostly just walking around, finding objects to use with other objects. Yeah, you get the general idea. I really like this adventure game. It's short and sweet. It doesn't overstay its welcome. There's a platinum trophy involved if you're interested in that kind of thing, which I think if you're going to get a platinum trophy on something, this is the one to do it. It's it's a good game to play. It's a good quick game to play and get a platinum trophy. I'm really not in favor of like games that are just like play this game, get a trophy, get a platinum trophy for this kind of like fake game that you made just for the purpose of basically selling a platinum. But this is a good game with a good story. It's a great story. It's like an epic tale of survival. I don't want to tell you what happens because it definitely has like a dark name and a lot of dark things occur. So I can't tell you if there's a happy ending or not. If you watch my videos, you might know. But there's definitely a feeling of dread throughout. And it wouldn't surprise me if there's multiple endings. So I need to figure that out. Sumatra, Fate of Yandi. The ending I got, I was happy with, so I don't feel the need to check if there are multiple endings or not. But it's something I should figure out. So I'm curious. I'm curious if there were other possibilities, because there were some slight moral choices throughout the game that may have changed the outcome, the final outcome. I'm curious about that. And yeah, so it's just a standard 8-bit or 16-bit, I guess, like little old school retro adventure game. You click around, you look on things. The puzzles are pretty simple. I didn't have too much trouble with them, and I enjoyed them. I felt clever playing the game. I felt like I was smart. I enjoyed the story. This game's just perfect. I can't really name any flaws in the game. Like I can't say that there's anything wrong with it. The slight cons in the game, other than it being sort of an adventure game with like limited challenge and not really any potential for failure. You just get stuck, and you can just look it up in a walkthrough where to go next, and then you can keep going no matter what. So it's pretty simple. And I had to look at a walkthrough twice to figure out two of the puzzles. I didn't feel like they were unfair, but they're just like little things that I didn't notice. Usually it's not that hard to notice things in this game, so it wasn't that much of a issue. Like the thing that I didn't notice, I didn't think it was like unfair or anything like that. And the other thing that I couldn't think of, I thought it was fairly clever. It was like a little obscure, and I didn't feel like cheated or anything like that. I didn't feel like it was cheap. So I think everything here is kind of clever, and if you do get stuck, there are walkthroughs and guides and stuff that will give you the way forward. Yep. So there's no voice acting or anything. You just read the stuff yourself. The characters have the voices you imagine they have, and yeah, it's just a simple, adventure game, atmospheric, tale of survival. It's cute in places, and then in places that you feel this feeling of dread, and you just have this feeling that you're playing this character who seems really ill-equipped to survive, and wondering, will I be able to get him out? And I really enjoyed it a lot. What are the flaws? What are the save system is annoying. Every time you save the game, it creates like a new save, and so you get like all these save slots, and then you have to delete them manually. It fills up, and then it tells you, do you want to overwrite? Like you have to overwrite a save now because all the save slots are filled up. But it's confusing, like how are you supposed to overwrite the saves? Because you sort of want it to be overwriting a save the whole time, but it keeps making new saves. So it's like a confusingly annoying save system. Is what I'm trying to say. And there's no autosave. So oops. Yes, I feel like I messed up right there. Anyway, yeah, I might have deleted. That doesn't matter. So yeah, Sumatra, Fate of Yandi. That's one flaw. Another is there's one spot where there's this glitch, where if you go to a computer, and if you interact with the computer password screen, if you push R2 in order to enter, you know how they have the PlayStation keyboard. If you push R2 to enter the password, instead of going to the enter key manually, it will crash the game. And if you push circle to cancel the password screen, it will also crash the game. And so I crashed the game like 4 or 5 times using that. That was really annoying. But despite those flaws, the bigger flaw being the crashing, which was like awful, and I crashed the game so many times, over and over again. Fortunately though, the second time, after the first time that I crashed it, I lost like 30 minutes of progress. But after that, I saved it right before using the computer. And so each time I crashed, I never lost any serious progress. But yeah, crashing the game over and over again sucked. But all that said, despite the crashing, I love this game so much, I gotta give it a 10 out of 10. So yeah, it's a simple game, and that gives it an advantage in, being flawless. It's a pretty much flawless game. I'd say there's really nothing but like a few little petty complaints here and there about like the character not being willing to pick up certain items until he realizes he needs them. Which I sort of feel like he should just pick up whatever. Like if I'm gonna need the item in the future, I wish he'd just pick it up when I tell him to, instead of waiting until he needs it. But still, that being said, generally it's not an issue. Generally, he picks up whatever I tell him to, as long as it's useful, and he'll need it later. Uh, so yeah, I strongly recommend this game. Uh, it's really cool. And uh, great story, great adventure game. Short and sweet, but epic. A really epic adventure in the short time that you're with it. So yeah, I love this game. If you're an adventure game fan, you can't miss it. And if you think you might enjoy the adventure games, then I think it's definitely worth checking out. Um, so yeah, this might be the one that will get you into it. And yeah, so that's it. Yandi, the Fate of Yandi, Sumatra Fate of Yandi. I'm giving this game a 10 out of 10. It's a perfect game, really. I can't really think of anything that's wrong with it. It's just a perfect little adventure story. It's easy to make a perfect game when you make a simple game, and they did. They made a simple little story. It was longer than I expected it to be. There were like a lot of times when I was thinking, this thing's over. Like I've done it. I beat the game, and there's like a little bit more, and I was like, oh my god! Like I thought we were out. I thought we were done. And there's twists and turns, and just everything feels great about this game. I really liked it a lot, and I couldn't recommend it more strongly. So, I'm giving this game another 10 out of 10. Not that I give 10 out of 10s that often, but I've played a few 10 out of 10s recently, and this is one of them. So, what's this game called again? Sumatra Fate of Yandi, 10 out of 10. That's the official verdict. And I will see y'all next time. Please like and subscribe. Gotcha. Off we go.